Hello, and welcome to today's webinar, What is Proof-Based Marketing? Thanks for joining me. My name is Stephanie Hall. I am the CMO at Boast, and I will be your host today. Today, we're going to talk about proof-based marketing and how you can leverage the concepts of proof-based marketing to grow your business. Specifically, we'll cover what is proof-based marketing, some proof-based marketing strategies, and then we'll wrap up with how specifically you can implement proof-based marketing for your business. To get started, let's answer the question, what is proof-based marketing? Proof-based marketing is based on the idea that proof sells and promises don't. It's a modern marketing strategy for building trust with your prospects to ultimately help grow your business. Now that you know what proof-based marketing is, the next question is, why does it matter? Why should you care? We know that today's buyers rely on social proof to make buying decisions. It's not enough to promise prospects that you can solve their problems or relieve their pains. They really expect to see proof that you can do that in the forms of testimonials, reviews, or referrals from past customers. Beyond how consumer habits have changed, the sales process has also changed. So consumers have more control over the buying process than they ever did before, and often can even navigate a full sales process without ever talking to a human. So proof-based marketing really helps businesses to adapt to these buyer transformations by optimizing customer experiences to build a compelling library of social proof. Another way to think about proof-based marketing is to compare the new way of proof-based marketing to the old way of promise-based marketing. Promise-based marketing relies on the expectation that prospects should blindly trust you, whereas the new way, proof-based marketing, relies on testimonials and reviews to establish trust with prospects. Promise-based marketing makes claims about how you might be able to help your prospects, whereas proof-based marketing tells stories about past customers like your prospects and how you were able to relieve their pains or solve their problems. Promise-based marketing lacks follow-up with customers to identify and segment out those detractors, passives, and promoters, whereas proof-based marketing focuses on proactively collecting feedback from customers in order to improve relationships with your customers as well as your business as a whole. And finally, promise-based marketing results in online reviews skewing negative because you're not proactively asking all of your customers for reviews, and only the unhappy customers are going out and leaving reviews online. Whereas proof-based marketing, you're being proactive about asking for that social proof, which results in a more accurate distribution of reviews online. Keeping all of that in mind, the foundation of proof-based marketing can really be found and simplified by looking at the flywheel. And the flywheel is based on the idea that modern marketing focuses on the customer. The customer is really at the center and of the business. And when your marketing, your sales, your customer service all work together, your business is going to grow faster and better. In kind of the old way, customers were an output at the bottom of your marketing and sales funnel. With the flywheel, customers are now at the center. And when your marketing, your sales, your customer service functions are working together, you're able to really build momentum in a way that a more traditional approach isn't able to with the sales funnel. The flywheel also explains how businesses can maximize momentum, specifically by speeding up the flywheel, by adding force to areas that have the potential to make the biggest impact, and then reducing friction by focusing on eliminating issues within the business that are slowing things down. So how that relates to proof-based marketing is that our proof-based marketing process kind of picks up where the flywheel leaves off by adding force to crucial points of friction within the flywheel. So with proof-based marketing, businesses can gather feedback from their customers, follow up with those customers to either resolve issues, improve customer relationships, or request praise, and then leverage that praise in the form of proof to build trust with prospects, increase leads, and increase sales. Proof-based marketing relies on the idea that amazing customer experiences grow businesses, and that by prioritizing customers, businesses can gather feedback, engage with their customers, collect praise, and ultimately build trust with their prospects that will allow the businesses to grow. There are 3 pillars of proof-based marketing, which we looked at in the flywheel diagram. The first one is feedback, and that is really understanding how your customers are feeling. The second pillar is follow-up, and that is either making things right with your customers or requesting that social proof to be able to leverage your happy customers. In the third pillar, which is proof, showcasing praise in order to build trust with prospects, increase leads, and increase sales. Now that we know what proof-based marketing is, why you should care about it, let's talk a little bit about these strategies and what effective proof-based marketing looks like. Mirroring the pillars of proof-based marketing, we're going to talk about feedback strategies, follow-up strategies, and proof strategies. And these are really the 3 components that make up an effective proof-based marketing strategy. Feedback strategies can be broken down into feedback surveys, customer experience metrics, and customer sentiment. Surveys are the first piece of the puzzle where you're asking your customers for feedback, understanding what they care about, and that can inform your marketing messaging and your sales messaging, and also help you to identify where you're maybe missing the mark and how you can improve as a business. That's going to be your qualitative feedback that you can refer to. Customer experience metrics are more of the quantitative data that you'll want to use to segment your customers based on customer sentiment and also track your business health over time. So there's a couple of different customer experience metrics that you can use. We recommend Net Promoter Score, NPS, customer satisfaction score, CSAT, and customer effort score, CES. These metrics are going to help you to get visibility into the health of your business as well as future growth potential, and also help you to be in a position to be able to solve issues, improve your business, and ultimately grow faster. The final piece of our feedback strategies is customer sentiment. So using those customer experience metrics, you can then segment your customers based on sentiment. A typical way to do that would be your promoters, your happiest customers, your passives or neutrals, and then your detractors. So by understanding how your customers feel, segmenting them based on sentiment, you can effectively reach out to customers in the right way at the right time in the next stage of proof-based marketing, which is follow-up. Digging into some follow-up strategies, we'll start with feedback responses. So as you've segmented out your customers based on sentiment, you are likely going to have some customers who aren't thrilled with your business. Feedback responses are really key in those instances where you need to have a process in place to proactively reach out to those unhappy customers and make things right, take control of what conversations may be happening around your brand online, and prevent those negative reviews before those customers go online to share about their experience. In addition to segmenting those detractors or unhappy customers, we also want to identify who promoters are so we can leverage them in the next 2 follow-up strategies, which are video testimonials and online reviews. So You want to make sure to prioritize gathering praise from your promoters. That's how you're going to be able to leverage them most effectively. So we recommend setting up automated requests based on that sentiment of promoter in order to maximize your response rates, make sure that customers aren't slipping through the cracks. Really the biggest benefit of video testimonials is that those are owned content that you can repurpose, that you can leverage across platforms in whatever way that you see fit for your business, as opposed to online reviews, which are typically owned by those third-party review sites. So online reviews is definitely an important part as well. Consumers tend to see those online reviews as more neutral because they are on an external site versus your marketing, your website, your landing pages, your social accounts. So those are important as a way of building that off-site reputation. It is important to know which sites are relevant to your business and your audience and make decisions on what platforms to focus on based on that. But we do recommend having a process in place to continually build up your reputation on those key online review platforms as part of your follow-up strategy as well. And then our third pillar of proof-based marketing is proof. So we've got a couple of ways here that we recommend leveraging your social proof, your testimonials, your reviews in order to grow your business. The first is testimonial widgets, and that is showcasing praise on your website, on your landing pages, wherever your prospects are moving through the sales process in order to build trust with them and encourage them to take that next step. It's also important to organize the praise that you receive based on product or service, based on the type of customer, the type of testimonial that you've received, so that you can showcase the right praise to the right people at the right time. That's going to have the biggest impact. In addition to content on your website, those third-party review sites, like I mentioned, are a key place where you can have a little bit more neutral standpoint with your social proof. So some ways you can leverage those third-party review sites would be sharing links to them throughout your sales process. Oftentimes, third-party review sites will offer badges that you might be able to embed on your website or share on your social channels. And then third-party review sites also often allow you to purchase ads to elevate your presence on those channels. So people who might be searching out a product or a service like yours could find you on those sites based on those ads or promoted listing that you've paid for. The third proof strategy is user-generated content. And that's really the idea of repurposing those video testimonials that you've received to establish trust across other places online. That might be cross-posting your testimonials to social media. That might be repurposing your text into videos or your videos into text, creating ads to showcase your praise across different marketing channels that you're leveraging. Overall, user-generated content recently has been shown to be very effective in establishing trust and also boosting engagement because it looks and feels organic and is something that consumers want to engage with on social platforms. Our final topic for today is implementing proof-based marketing for your business. So we've talked about what is proof-based marketing. We talked about some proof-based marketing strategies. If you're thinking, this all sounds great, how can I get started? What are the next steps that I need to take to implement this for my business? We're going to get into all of that right now. To get started, I want to talk about tools. That's going to be the foundation for implementing your proof-based marketing approach for your business. It's really important that you have the right tools in order to be effective. So a couple of tools that you'll need, and you may have these tools already that you can piece together to create your proof-based marketing system. You might need to evaluate a tool to provide all of these solutions in order to be effective. It's kind of up to you, but I'm going to provide the information that you need to make that decision for your business. The first thing that you'll need is a tool for collecting feedback or surveying customers. That might be a form builder on your website or a third-party form builder tool. You'll also need a way to communicate with customers. So that could be an email marketing software. It could be a customer support software. It could also just be one-off emails through your Gmail or your Outlook. And then finally, you'll need a system for managing and distributing the social proof that you receive. That could be a Google Sheet, a Trello board, or some type of system as well. This is where I want to talk a little bit about Boast. Boast is the only proof-based marketing platform, and it's designed for organizations who want to create amazing customer experiences to fuel growth for their business. We created Boast to help marketers leverage customer stories and social proof, to help marketers build trust with prospects, to help marketers and business owners generate more leads and ultimately increase sales. So our proof-based marketing platform is designed to help you put your customers first. And we do that by helping you collect feedback, follow up with those customers, and gather praise that you can use across your marketing and sales efforts. Our ultimate goal is to help you build momentum by putting customers first so that you can increase sales and grow your business. Keeping that in mind, the tools that you'll need that you might want to evaluate before moving on, we're going to talk a little bit about the first pillar of proof-based marketing and how you can get started with feedback. Feedback is really the foundation of proof-based marketing. It's the first step, and it's key to identifying who your happy customers are and where those opportunities for growth might be. So the first step you're going to want to take is to figure out what tools you'll use to request, collect, and manage your customer feedback. And then you'll want to think about what questions you might want to ask and create that survey that you'll send to your customers to get their feedback. When you're creating that survey, it's really important to include at least one customer experience metric in that survey so that you can use that data to segment your customers into or based on their sentiments, which is going to be really important once we get to the feedback stage. We also recommend automating your feedback requests to ensure the best experience for your customers. That makes sure that the timing is appropriate, and also make sure that customers don't slip through the cracks or get forgotten. The final recommendation or thought is to maybe consider offering an incentive or a reward to improve your response rates. The next pillar of proof-based marketing is follow-up. Effectively gathering praise from your customers requires a really solid follow-up process. You want to make sure to set up notifications based on your customer sentiment. That's your promoters, your passives, and your detractors. And always personally follow up with those detractors to address any concerns, make things right, remedy any issues that might be outstanding. With your promoters and maybe even your passives, it's often okay to automate those responses, but you want to make sure that they are receiving something to request that praise, whether that's a video testimonial, an online review, something else. But you do always want to have a process in place that's going to automatically follow up with those happy customers so that you can collect as much praise as possible to use in the proof stage. A final note on that follow-up is always require submitters to consent to your use of their testimonial for marketing and sales purposes. That's typically just a checkbox at the bottom of that submission form. Some tools like Boast are going to have that built into the system where consent is managed for you. If you're just using a standard form builder, you'll want to make sure that you capture that and track it so you know you have permission to use that praise in your marketing and sales efforts. And finally, once you've collected that praise, you want to showcase the social proof in the right place at the right time to have the biggest impact on your customers. And some recommendations for that are going to be organizing your testimonials based on the type of testimonial, the product or service that it is referring to, the messaging within it, the type of customer, anything that can be used to show a personalized piece of social proof to a prospect. You're going to want to categorize so that you can make sure to showcase that praise in the right place to have the biggest impact. Publishing testimonials and reviews on your website and landing pages is the most effective way to increase your conversion rates, your leads generated, and your sales. So using a testimonial widget or some way to embed that content on your website. Also incorporating that praise into your social media content to continue to build trust with prospects across all of the channels that they might be engaging with your brand on. And then also consider repurposing that praise, that content, that social proof for other marketing, advertising, sales purposes in order to get the biggest impact. And that is about it for the What is Proof-Based Marketing webinar. Before we wrap things up, let's do a little recap. So we started out with what is proof-based marketing, and the summary there: use proof to build trust with prospects. Don't simply make promises. Show them that you can, that you've done for others in the past what you're promising that you can do for them by proof. Proof-based marketing strategies are gathering feedback, following up with customers, and then sharing that praise or that proof. And then for implementing and getting started with proof-based marketing, you're going to maximize your results by investing in the right tools and the right processes. And thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. You can reach us at via email, help@boast.io. We also have a contact form on our website, boast.io/contact, and you can engage with us on social channels at Get Boast. Thanks so much.